Wow, me neither. All right, let's go. Oh, I guess I should say, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm Lee Spears. I just organized this, and thanks all for coming. Tim Schneider has agreed to come down to show us this new website, which I'm sure you're all here for because you're all on and you're going to know all the ins and outs. So we'll just run through some quick stuff about cups, right? Just in case there's anybody because there are a couple procedural things that we got to make sure we're taking care of. So you all know there's 3 levels: the NCS Cup, the President's Cup, and the Challenge Cup. NCS Cup is a single knockout tournament, so every game needs a winner. President's Cup and Challenge Cup or World Cup format, they have a group stage and then a knockout stage. So in the group stage, you can end in a tie. Knockout stage, you obviously then need a winner. So there you go. Here's the biggest thing. Check in, because I'm not sure one team did this right last year, but this is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come with one copy, paper copy of all of their passes. And then they're supposed to have 3 copies of their game card, which is their roster, and the real small pictures of their passes. It looks not this game card, but they want the game card that has the passes next to it where the other team is. That's what they're supposed to bring. 3 copies. 1 for you, 1 for the other team, and then 1 just as a backup. Okay? I would always suggest the first thing you do when they hand you that copy is say, are all these numbers correct? And they'll go, I don't know. Go check them. Right? Because they didn't print. What do you mean they didn't print? Anyway. The standard laminated passes, you don't want to see them. You don't want to touch them. Nothing to do with them. And the electronic passes are also not acceptable. They're supposed to have a printed copy of their passes.
Still have the laminated passes anyway?
I don't know if anybody still uses them or not.
Yeah, I think so, but I haven't done a youth game all the
time. I know. So again, that's the game card, but you're going to get the 1 game card. You get a game card from each team with their passes on one side and their roster on the other side. Coaches should exchange the rosters. They're responsible if they want to check the other team in, if they want to make sure that the players on the roster have a pass. That's why they're getting a copy of the roster with passes. So if they want to do that, line them up and let the coach go through it. The referee does not check the rosters or the player passes. Okay, so you don't have to line them all up and call their names out. Nope. You get the roster. You confirm the numbers. That's what they're doing.
They've been doing it for years.
Yep. Each team is supposed to supply 1 game ball until they get to the finals. So make sure they have a decent one and let them know that they're going to be responsible for that. For the 11-a-side games, they are allowed to have a 22-person roster, only 18 of which may dress. So the other 4 that are on the roster can be on the bench, but they cannot be in uniform. And that's got to be done when they hand you the roster. They're going to say off, whatever they're going to cross off the people who are not eligible for that game. So after they hand you the roster, if somebody pulls a hamstring, they only have 17. They can't take someone off that was ineligible, they had deleted from the roster, made ineligible, and make them eligible again. So I would get the rosters as late as you can.
And make sure that some of them are going to be warming up with the team.
Yep.
Because some of them, they have to tell you you're not playing until 5 minutes for the game. And some of them might be, they're going to see, hey, are you still healthy enough to go, or can you not go? So that's why they're going to try to wait too.
Some game time decisions.
Socks off, shin guards off, jersey, something else with the jersey on.
Yep.
Just so you can identify them, so if they sneak on the field, it's pretty obvious.
Yep. Any team official that's present in the bench must be on the roster. A lot of times they'll have like 4 people there and they'll have 1 person on the roster. They only have 1 person on the roster. That's all that's allowed on the. Now, smart teams are going to have like a coach and assistant coach, the manager listed, right? They'll have 3 or 4 people there, but some teams won't. And if they're not on the roster, they can't be there. So you're going to run into the problem because I've had it before. They only have 1 coach on the roster. That coach can't make it, so they sent some other coach from the team to be there. I would make sure that that coach has a coach's pass, and then I would call the cup commissioner or who's ever in charge of that cup and say, what do you want me to do here? Because I'm not making that decision. But if they don't have a coach's pass, definitely not. Right? Because that means they haven't done the concussion protocol thing, they haven't done the child safety clearance, right? If they don't have a coach's pass, no way. If they only have 1 team official and that team official gets a red card, the game is now over. Okay, which is why it's important to check all this stuff before you get to the match, but before you start the match. Substitutes for the NCS Cup 14s and below is unlimited substitution. Once you get to the 15s, it's no re-entry in the half. Now, if you've done ECNL, right, when they come in, they bring you their pass. So we're not doing that, right? We're not touching the passes. So that maybe that extra copy of the roster or the center ref should give that. The AR is the one who's supposed to be document all that on the roster on who went in, who came out in each half. Okay? Probably easier for them than it is for the center, but that's the way it's supposed to be. The halves are defined as first half, second half, and overtime. That overtime period when you get to it is a half. So if they come out in the first half of the overtime, they're done for the match. They can't go back in the second half of the overtime. I would definitely make sure if you get to a game that goes to overtime that you bring not only the captains but a coach and explain that if you come out during the overtime, you're done. Joanne, you want to say something? Go ahead, Joanne. Joanne raised her hand, but now she's trying to unmute. Well, if you get yourself unmuted, Joanne, you can jump in. For both the President's Cup and the Challenge Cup, it's unlimited substitution for the whole tournament, so you don't have to worry about that age group wise. Joanne's sending me a message, maybe. No. The match durations are the same as normal. That's not a problem. It's the overtime, since we usually don't play them, and you need to make sure you know. So the 11s, 12s, 13s, and 14s are 2 10s, and older age groups are 2 15s. They are not golden goal. So even if one team scores 4 goals in the first overtime period, you're playing the second overtime period. Okay? No longer don't have to call them kicks from the mark anymore. You can now call them penalties or penalty shootout. If you get there, same usual procedure. 5 players are sent from each team. It's a round of 5. If it's tied after that, it goes kick for kick in sudden victory style. No player can shoot a second shot until everyone on their team has taken the first. The question does come up, when you get past number 11, do they have to go in the same order? And the answer is no. Right? But once they get there and they start the second time through, they got to go all the way through before they can kick a third time. If you get that far, yeah. The keeper may be changed after any shot, but only for a player who's on the field. They are allowed to change keeper. That's in the next slide, but very good question. I got you. If at the end of a match, one team only has 10 because of a red card or injury or whatever, the other team must reduce to equate, can only send the same number of players out from each team. So if one team is playing with 10, and the other team's only going to have 10. Reduce to equate. Also, this is the big one. Unless you're participating in the kicks, which means your 11 players who were on the field at the end of the match, or 10 or whatever the reduced number is, those 11 players are the only people allowed on the field. Not the bench players, not the coach. No one except the players who are on the field at the end of the match. It's also a good thing if you have a match that you know may go to kicks or has the possibility of it, right? Because you need a winner style. I would tell coaches right away, anybody on the bench needs to be in a penny. It should be in a penny anyway, but especially if it's a possibility of going to kicks from the mark, because you got to be able to easily identify who was on the field at the end of the match and who wasn't. So just tell them if they're on the bench, they're in a penny. So your AR1 on that side, just tell them, hey, you're on the bench, put in a penny. Get them in a penny. Okay? The coach is going to want to come out to the center circle with them. Nope. Can't be on the field. Only the 10 players who are on the field at the end of the match. That's going to be something that side AR and the center is going to have to monitor when it gets close to that, right? Make those players on the field stay on the field. Center should get over to help, and the other AR should come over and then help. Well, then because then the center can go and do the coin flip and all that stuff to start the kicks from the mark. Okay, any questions about?
One thing on that, Lee.
Yep.
So the coach can go on the field, have a little powwow with his team beforehand. You got a 100-degree day and it's hot. Say, everybody stay off the field. Everybody go to the center field. We will get you guys work. The coaches can then bring out the water, or they're all things up nice. They bring the water out to the kids and then leave the field. The other thing is they have to be in uniform to kick. They cannot take their shin guards off.
Right.
Their shirt should be tucked in. They can't put their they need to be like they're still playing in the game.
They can't put their lucky bracelet on or put the earring back in.
Take your shin guards off. Start socks off, shin guards in, all the normal stuff you would be to play in a game.
Right. So that's the down and dirty on the cups. I saw a few guys taking pictures. I'll send these out so you can have them too, just so you come to.
And these should all be in the roles too, that your assigner should be sending you, or at least a link to EPYC's website where to find the rules for each cup.
Which is where I found all these rules.
That's just the basic thing. You got to know which cup. Your assigner will tell you which cup it is. You have to ask them, which cup am I doing? Because do I need a winner? Do I not need a winner? And
is it a group stage game? Is it a knockout game? Is it?
There's a few other little things you may need to know based on the cup. But,
substitution, especially for the NCS Cup. It used to be substitution in the President's Cup too, but they eliminated that. So I think that was 2 years ago they got rid of it. So yeah, it's funny because one of the rules still said had some place.
Well, they did because there was a fight at the finals about that.
Right.
Because one team that played that role throughout this thing, the other team that not played that role throughout the cups, and it was.
But the official rules say unlimited substitution for the President's Cup and the Challenge Cup. Right? Any questions about that? Perfect. All right, I'm gonna.
You want to log into this?
Misconducts don't carry over into penalties.
Okay, so the standard misconducts. That's a good point. So if, especially the goalkeeper has a yellow card from or a warning from during the game on a penalty, whether for leaving early or antics or whatever, that does not carry over into the kicks, into the penalties. So if he leaves early on the first one, he's back to a warning. It's not, you had a warning during the game, now it's a yellow card. It resets back, he gets a warning, then a yellow card. Same for a kicker. If they had a yellow card in the match for a reckless challenge, and then they do an illegal feint that would just be they're yellow for the kicks from the mark and recorded as a miss. But if they came back a second time, then they'd have to worry about possibly getting removed from kicks from the mark. But yeah, that's an important one, that the goalkeeper's warning, if he left early during the match, he gets another leave early warning during the penalties phase, if it gets that far.
Log into my website is here.
Log into my website as you, okay. Oh, that means I'm gonna have to open, let me see. What is it, team? What's your website name?
Click on it.
I know, that's all I did too. I don't have that, I don't have that open. All right, I'll get it.
app.teampass.com.
There it is. Look. Boop. Am I logged into my account? I am not logged into my account.
Remember your password?
Of course. Well, I don't, but my
Google does.
but Google does.
I don't need it. I had to reset my own vacation because I didn't remember it.
Let's see. Let's drag this over to here. Boop.
Okay.
Ooh, that's tiny.
But yeah. You want large to go ahead a little bit. But when you log in, this is what we should see.
See if I can make this. Let me see if I make this get bigger. There we go. Oh, that's a little better.
Okay.
Now the people in the back can see it. Joel still can't see it, but he never sees anything.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So now,
hold on. I gotta present this slide. Let me stop presenting this one and present that tab. So there's people.
you know, just present your whole computer.
I could have, but sometimes it gets a little wonky if you try and present everything. I should have just presented that whole window, but that's okay. All right, we're good, Tim. Go ahead.
Okay. Now click on my schedule. See, this works. Underneath Tim
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
View my schedule.
Okay.
Hey, there I am.
Now, Lee's schedule for the weekend comes up. And you see
Ooh,
the-
these new little red things are new.
yeah, all the games are canceled this weekend. So, you should, who is working this weekend? You got an email saying the games were canceled, correct? Not just from me, you should have got an email saying the game was canceled too. Did you get one per day, or did you get one for every game?
No. One.
One, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only canceled individual games before, and so when I cancel games individually, I get email too telling me I canceled. Because like I don't remember everything. Okay? So, there's your schedule. If now, he didn't accept his game till Monday.
What? On Monday?
No, Sunday.
On Sunday? What?
Now, he could have, we've had a few errors. If you don't accept your game in 2 days, you go over here with a big red N on it.
Why would I do Saturdays and Mondays and not Sundays?
Well, no, it was a glitch in the email at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I know he was good for it. So if you click on view, pick any game you want to, click on view. Okay. There it comes up with your referees' phone numbers and email addresses. So if you need to contact your crew, there it is. Eventually, where it says discipline is where you're going to put your cards in. That's not set up yet, but eventually all the game reports are going to be done on this site too.
Nice.
And so the teams will put in the scores theoretically, or I mean, we'll do the scores whatever because they go real in depth. I mean, they have stuff for pro teams right now where you're putting in a minute to goal score and everything like that. But basically, you're going to put in the you put the cards and everything, and then we click play by play. I'll bring up who scored the goals, when the cards were, all the fun stuff. But that's not anywhere close to being ready yet. So, but that's in case you need to know who your crew is and put their email, cell phones on. Always good to have that because get in a car accident on your way to the game. You go, hey Brad, I'm going to be late, or I'm not coming at all. You know, yes, you need to let me know too, but let your crew know, hey, I'm going to show up for game time because I got stuck in traffic, or you know, we all know we run from game to game. So even the day before, he sends an email to Joe saying, hey Joe, I'm going to be there for game time. You have everything checked in ready to go when I get there. You know, that kind of stuff's okay. You're going to be telling me too, so I know about it, but there's all the information you need right there. I'm working on getting it so you can click on it, but I don't think you can click on anything now. I think you just have to highlight, copy, and paste. Okay, so go, exit out there. Okay. Was this in the emails yet? See, so it says Phoenixville has the address, has how many miles he's going to drive, and his drive time. Was that in the emails? It's going to be if it's not. So now when you get your email, it's going to have your 3 games for the day, how much you're getting paid for each game, the address of the field, and your drive time for the field. And then you're just going to click yes or no at the bottom of the thing. Just like before, it's all or nothing. Also, we can make adjustments by emailing me, but no more logging in. All you do is hit yes, and you should get an email that says, it should take you to this page here. It should say successful at the top. If it doesn't, if you get already accepted or already confirmed or whatever, then email that to me too, just so we can look into what's going on there. But that's why that still has the question mark and not the yes, because something happened. When we first launched this, only the first referee to respond was registering as a yes. That was not fun. Heck, they only had 30 games that weekend. Could you imagine 500 games?
So the first person said yes?
Of the whole crew that was sent. So if it was 10 fields, it was 40 referees, only the first one was registering as yes. So we got that fixed. That's why you do it in the off season to get the bugs worked out. So any questions from what you guys see on your schedule?
I said yes for these games.
Yeah, and Friday you
I
said
gotta
yes.
work with this. I thought you were never gonna put me with that Brian, good guy. He's such a.
Oh, he asked me.
Oh, okay.
And you did Saturday.
I don't have full cruise on Saturday.
Not yet, still. I probably screwed something up. I told you I made a lot of mistakes.
That's all right.
I'm still getting you could like on Game Officials. I could click on a name and click on a 3-day section for the whole tournament and give everybody their names. Now it only does day by day. And if I switch from one day to the next day, it resets all those filters at the top for me. So it's easier just to go through day by day, but then I make mistakes. And also, I was doing some crazy stuff once. There are 8 games in proving grounds on all the fields. Nobody can do 7 games a day. Games. So I was doing a 9-man crew over 2 fields. So you basically 2 games on, 1 game off.
Right.
So I screwed that up a lot because I even had a cheat sheet. If you're number 1, okay, you're on here, okay, then okay. So I'm learning some things on that part too. Okay, so Excel that one now. You should be able to click on your name at the top. Where it says link. Okay, now click on view entire schedule. Okay, this will be fixed. You shouldn't be able to see that right now. All you should be able to see is the open game. So go back up, click on future events.
Show future events?
Yeah. And say, nope, that's not it. Hold on.
It's the
Filter by date?
top left, yeah. That'll show you everything.
Yeah, it's not. So I gotta tell them that you guys aren't supposed to be able to see this. So what you're supposed to be able to see here, I guess we'll go to my screen now.
Of these, right? Just the open games?
Yeah, but you're supposed to be able to, okay, go up, just click on, what day is that? That's Sunday? You go up to the dates and click on Sunday to.
If you select the date there, then it should just.
Okay, here we go. So now, when this is officially working, if Lee sees this set of games and wants to work on it, all you do is you click request. Just click on mine. You're not going to know anything about it. But click each one. Okay. So now when we go on my site, you're going to see his name in the pending section. So this way, I'm going to have a list of 1 to however many people that can pick up a game. Now, obviously, for tournaments and the bigger stuff, it's better to email me and say, "Hey, I see you have 5 games set here," because I have to click on each one of these individually to move them over later.
Right.
But as we get in the leagues and there's a game here or there, you can do that. You can also then email me. But this way, this will hopefully cut down on once I get it fixed where you only can see this weekend's games, but you might have to be on a specific date. I've noticed that with me. If I'm not on a specific date, I can't make assignments. So you might have to actually pick a date, but then you can request that way. So hopefully this will cut down on the open game emails. Everybody should just log in and say, "Oh," and once again, no, it's not there. Okay, so I gotta make it, the time needs to be added to that.
Oh, what would my drive time and my distance be? So I can make a decision. Ooh, that might not be good, but.
Yeah. Click on, go to view staff member for a second. Bottom left.
Oh, maybe if I,
Just go with your name.
then it might put it in.
There we go. No, that just showed your games. Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I already have games on Sunday.
So I got them to add that part. That way, when you look at the open games, you can see how far away from it is. Because I don't know all the fields. You guys don't know all the fields. Especially if you're newer, you might not go, "Well, where's this field at?" Now you'll be able to see, "Oh, that field's 10 minutes from me. Okay, I can go do that game," or it's an hour from. So questions on your view. And more than all, availability. Let's do that one quick.
Okay.
So, is it supposed to be the same one? Or you're
It's
different flavors of car.
different from this than this.
Yeah.
And then the average.
Yeah.
Eating it.
Shoot me an email, remind me to talk to them about that, because at first that's why the directions say do it from a computer. But when you did it from this,
I can't even accept the game on the app.
well, you can't accept games on the app.
Right.
It's off the email.
Okay.
You can't accept any games on the website. It's all on the email. So if you see your name on a game, if people saw you on a game, check your spam folder. But honestly, today I released, Thursday was the hotels. I released Friday, I released Saturday, I released Sunday. I had to release them all separately. But you shoot me an email at Joe's like that. Because I know there was an issue with that. And then the other problem was, some people, when they register as players, not referees. So they weren't showing up. They weren't showing up on the next page. So hit your name again. So you should be able to see, you should see set availability. If you don't see that one, if you don't see that, that's when you're in trouble. That means you're a player. And so anybody that doesn't just see set player availability, doesn't see this one, email me so I can get you in contact with them so I can figure out what's going on. We had a couple of little quirks. I go, "Hey, this guy's not showing up in this form. He's showing up in this form." It was separating the capital letters and the lowercase letters. So is it all? So if you put your name in all caps, you were here. If you put your name first letter cap, you were then here alphabetically, and then all lowercase, you were down here. Insert screen. So they fixed that for me today. It does sort by first name. Okay? So especially if you're a father, son, father, daughter, mother, daughter, definitely email me before a tournament going, "Hey, we want to work together." It's not like before where I can see the two names side by side on the list. Now your names are this far.
Okay, that does alphabetically by first name and not alphabetically by last name.
Yes.
You figured they'd be able to fix that, wouldn't they?
Well, I can sort by last name, but then I can't search because it searches by the first letter. So like even S's, I have to hit T because it says select at the top.
Right.
Okay, so availability, they tried to copy game officials for me almost perfectly. The one thing they did that was better now, you can only put one availability in per day. Some people will put themselves available and then unavailable. So, Lee was available for the 17th. If he all of a sudden decides he's not available, he has to click edit or delete. Okay? You got to click available, unavailable. Once again, I don't care about not available. If you want to do that, you can. But look for availability. Is it all day or not all day? You put your times in, and then you put your notes in. Just type anything you want in there. Okay, and save it. And boom. So like this was perfect because when I was working on Saturday, when I pull up his name, that shows up at the top of the page. So the notes are a little bit better than before. It's a little bit different, but get used to it. Now you can only put one in per day. So if you click on the 19th, let me just see what it does, like up there. So it brings up the 19th, it already has. Now the one thing you gotta be careful of, if you click on the next day, it remembers what you put in the time before. So if you put in you're available from 8 to 4 on a Sunday, and then click Monday to be available, it's going to say 8 to 4 with the same notes. So they try to do it that if you the same times every weekend or whatever, you can just boom, boom, boom. So you just got to be a little careful when you're going through doing your availability that the notes. That's it. It's simple to change. You can see what it says, and you can say that's not right. Somebody put in they were available next weekend from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m.
That's not a lot of time.
So I'm not sure if that at 10 p.m. or what, but yeah. Question on availability. As in, no, you just click on the next day. So if he clicks on the 20th, all the same information comes up. Yeah.
But you can't do it multiple days. Like you used to be able to do multiple days at once a game at 50. You go like, I can click on the 20. I can click all weekend, available all day. Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. Now, I'll see a suggestion you guys have, because somebody else already sent me the email about going to their account. I mean, they're basically building what we need. So that's why so many things are just, it may look like one way one day, it may look like something else the next day, because we're fixing it, and I'm always emailing him. I'm telling you before here, we loaded the boys schedule, and I got a text going, hey, I only have 2 games this weekend, and I got all over the place next weekend. I go, what are you talking about? Send me an email so I can look at it on my computer. I went to sit down, and all of a sudden I go, oh crap, we screwed up. So I'm emailing him frantically, I'm calling him. I go, we screwed up, can you fix it? When we loaded the boys schedule, took all the same game numbers that were the girls schedule, took all the girls games that had the same game numbers, moved them to the boys schedule. He goes, oh yeah, so he reloaded the girls schedule, moved all the games back to what they originally were. So it was about a 3-hour time period yesterday, but if you were logged in, you would have seen yourself all over the place next weekend if you had games this weekend. So you learned a lesson. Now when you log in this time, you see 10 Fusion girls and 10 Fusion boys. So you don't have to worry about that problem. So that probably nice for me too. If all of a sudden state cups, they're infamous for this crap. Just changing stuff, not telling us what they're changing. I got downloaded every Monday. Theoretically, I can reload the whole entire schedule every Monday, and it will fix any thing within reason. The only problem is going to be the different levels, because they use the same game number. So I got to think ahead about how that's going to look, because otherwise, if I had the same game number, probably on the same day for 2 different cups. So,
Right, NCS Cup number 840 and President's Cup 840.
yeah, usually it's down credits, but
Yeah.
the same number. And because then I download my schedule, like, well, that's weird. They're like next to each other. Same day, 2 different fields, 2 different teams, but so cool.
Correct. Just when you request, not on this screen, but the request thing.
Yes.
If you put in, you want to center, game 9 o'clock. Once you put that in, does that go away? Every 5 people.
50 people can request it.
Plus, so there's no way. So you
Yeah.
all know.
Yeah, they had it set up though at one that said, no, I don't want that.
Right, here, the first come, first serve.
Because I mean, how many people, Joel, you might be the only one that refed for Susan Zaccarelli. Anybody else here ref for Susan Zaccarelli back in the day? That's the way her site was. One person could request it. So Joel would go in and request 5 centers in a row.
Thanks, Joel.
Not him personally, no, but
Right, but then, because once it was requested, you
she
can do
told me,
it.
remember, I'm a national referee. She was, hey, just tell me what games you can do for, it was the old Region 1 Premier League. And I emailed her and said, what are you talking about? All the games are going with? And all the centers are going. She goes, just tell me what days are free. I'll fix it. But this way, yeah, so I'll have a list. Now, the only negative is, the only way you'll know you didn't get the game is when you log back in, you won't see the game. We're still working on how to figure out how you know you.
If you put in a request, then
Yeah,
it can get accepted.
Yeah, because
You
like
get an email
all
saying,
you put in for the same game, ultimately one you can do the spot.
That, and then also, you can watch this game as well.
Yeah, you can do it that way. Eventually, we'll hopefully get away from the emails. But that's the plan. Right now, it's still easier to do that way. I still got to click on your name. I still got to. I'll show you here when I go to do league here. We're going to put them in and take it back out on what we're doing there. Everything else basically is non-existent at this point, except for edit account info. If you are going to college, kids going to college, and they're going to be working from school, go change your address while you're in school. So that way it updates the times for me. If maybe you live in Lancaster and you're going to school at, what's down here?
for science.
For science. Okay, well, that's a big difference. Like I had a girl that lives down here, she's going to Millersville. She has her Millersville address in right now. So I know she's in Lancaster also, but it helps me know where she's going to go do games.
You're not sending her to a game that's near her home.
No,
when she's at
sometimes
college.
she'll go, hey, I'm going home this weekend.
Give me home games. Yeah.
Exactly. And she travels, so it doesn't matter. So that should be all you need here. There will be more. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to take over.
All right, let me stop presenting.
Tim, if you're designing this, and I've seen your email, why do you have in there set player?
Because this is I'm helping them build the assigning portion. There's only 200 people using it for assigning right now. So this is a player league. Like when you see, when I go into different things, it's going to say, like when I set a game, I can make it a practice, I can make it whatever I want. So they're branching out into the assigning portion of it. I got to go to the email. I got to go to the email.
All right, so you're running off of this mic. You're gonna have to use your mic, I think. There you go.
Is that better now?
Yep.
Okay. Where are we at here?
Yep, we got a yes from somebody
Okay.
out there, so we're good. Thank you for letting us know.
So here's the one thing they're trying to fix for me, because every time I click on something, it goes back to all seasons, which is why this took me a lot longer than it should have, because now I gotta go back here. Okay, so now you'll see. Okay, so you'll see Lee's in there, but there's no mark next to his name yet. So if I did it for all of them, then we come up here and then click send email assignments. That's when you get the email accept them. I'm going to remove you from that. Unless you want to come to Lancaster. The good news too is you're going to see the fees right away. Yeah, this game should start blowing up here shortly, because it's this Sunday, and with all the games being canceled, somebody's going to request the game. Somebody's going to want to go work. But that didn't really matter what. Okay, so when I pick a date, I click. It's showing me all the referees who are available. And what's nice with this one too is it doesn't just tell me who's available, it tells me right here your times. So on game officials, it would tell me, it would sort by who's available for the day. And let's say Ralph said he's available. So I click on his name. He's available for 2 freaking hours. Like at the end of the day, that doesn't help me out. So now this way I know, okay, so Bradley's available from, or here, we'll do Brian because I'm on him now. Brian's good from 9 to 5. So now I know, okay, so I know I'm looking for a specific time frame. So anybody that marks himself as available is at the top of the list, alphabetically. You see there's a big list for this Sunday.
I wonder why.
Okay, and then he lists the people who did nothing. And then at the bottom, anybody that's not available.
Stop looking at the available list.
Usually. Now, because the last one we're doing with emails too, because this wasn't working yet, I was doing a little bit of sorting of both. So then we go to Lee. Okay. So there it is, all day. What did you put the note in? You put it on the 17th.
Yeah, 17th. Like I say, I don't have any games. Okay.
And the more stuff the longer it takes. Okay, 17th. Okay, there it is. There's the notes. So whoever you wrote in there, I now see. Now, obviously, if you're working with, so Brad, you're working with what's his name next weekend? Yeah, Ryan. So you can put in the notes with Ryan, last name or whatever, but still email me too. Because I more or less have the things broken out before I get the schedule. And then I'm just filling it in. I had people emailing me last night and this morning, one guy in particular, trying to get games for the next weekend, who hadn't sent any availability in. Dude, no, you're at the end. People that follow directions will get games first. The only thing this thing does not do, it does not tell you who AR1 and AR2 is. So it doesn't really matter. Obviously, you can go in rotation, but when I click on it, jeez, I forgot all the canceled games here. That's the only game we have now. But if there was open games, there would be things to click on there. So the new site's keeping track of all your declines.
So you want to be batting 1,000, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? You're batting 1,000, you haven't turned anything back?
Yep.
You think that-
So it tells me how many games I've assigned you, how many cancels you've had, and then your average. This also shows me everybody available for the weekend, too, if I really want to look at it that way. Because I said I need something concrete to look at. I can't just. And so they threw the extra fun stuff in there. Uh-oh.
Somebody's calling you for games?
Oh. Hey, is it about tonight's game? Because I'm in a meeting right now.
Like, never ever.
Okay, cool. Just shoot me an email then later, so I can change it for payroll and hope you're feeling better. Yep, no problem. It was half important. She did the right thing. She got herself covered. She said, "I'm not feeling good. This person's going to do my games," which for indoor is good. For others, especially this late, that's great. Normally, yeah, give me some heads up. Then guys that do college, like Mark wants 2 names. If you have a name, because like man, last week, right? He couldn't do his games anymore, so he called you up, and then they emailed me and said, "Hey Tim, Joel's going to cover these 2 games for me," and I was on vacation, so I ignored it because I knew the games were covered. I had to deal with it, and if it was affect payroll for anything, I would fix it later. But there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, if it's okay with you, so and so is available." But I got to make the final call. Huh? We know what happened there, but.
That's going to affect his batting average.
No, I thought you still batting 1,000.
Well, I told him I don't care about declines. I told him I need a button for turnbacks. So like here.
Right. Something came up in employment that's great, accepted it, turned it back. Now you have to go back and reschedule.
Yeah, that's what I want to know about. And when they declined it, or when they turned it back.
Right.
So, any question on what I'm seeing? Yeah. We don't know why I did that. Because on my end, because somebody else said, "Hey, there's no fees," and then when I was on with the company this afternoon, he goes, he pulled up one of the emails that was sent out. He goes, "Why does it say 0 for everything?" And I go, "Was it because we made a new season? We changed it from Penn Fusion, and then we split it to boys and girls?" And he goes, "It shouldn't." And then I logged into the boys' side, and all the fees are there. Penn Fusion boys. So I mean, obviously the hotels are free, but yeah, I have fees. So I don't know what happened there, but no, all the emails said 0. So all the emails this weekend for whatever reason said 0. So they're looking into why they said that. Anything weird like that happens, let me know, because I don't always get everything going on. So payroll is supposed to work very similar to game officials. The tournament's gonna end. You're gonna tell me the changes. The biggest difference here is, it's gonna take me a little bit. Wrong thing. It's gonna take me a little bit longer. Because before I just switched places with everybody. Now, just because I switch doesn't mean the money changes. So Brad, here's you next. If you and Ryan switch places, I'd have to click on here, maybe. then I can edit the fee right there before we go. So what that will also help out with is right now in game officials, let's say somebody got hurt and Joel's filling in for half a game and Brad's going to do the second half of the game, so they each get half a game break. In game officials, I couldn't split the fee. Now I can. It's a $50 fee. I add $25 to one of Joel's games, and I add $25 to one of Brad's games, and now your pay's correct. It may take a little bit longer for payment because they tell me the reason game officials held the money was you as a league have 5 days to say I authorize that electronic transfer. Which is why once they got used to a certain company, it got released faster. Like PA Classics was 2 days usually. Somehow elite tournaments in Maryland was a day. It was an hour one time. I did Gettysburg, and they paid it, and an hour later it was to the referees. But that's why. So it's probably going to take a week. Because obviously Monday we'll run payroll, they'll fund it, they're going to hold the money for 5 days. So it's going to be about the same as game officials. It might be just a hair longer until they get used to all the people they're working with. But same thing, you just got to let me know what's going on there so we can fix it. Any questions? Good. It's secure. This is a 20-year-old company. They were in professional sports, and now they actually were doing the online shopping for professional sports, but Fanatics got just ahead of them and took off. So Fanatics, why compete with them? So they're going somewhere else now. And your social security numbers are encrypted. Like I can't see them, they can't see them, nobody can see them. Everything is encrypted there. They are telling me they're going to offer a check method just like game officials. Like we're supposed to have all this, everything's worked out. They've been paying a thing in Texas now for 2 weeks. This was going to be our first big test with Penn Fusion with 500 games. Now we got to wait another week to see how things go. But on my end, there's a little bit more work. Within game official, I just did certain things, but like so, I can see in the back end of stuff. So I got to put in every single age and position and what the fee is. So that's just what we have so far. I got to add a lot more. Like so, like on game officials, U16 was U16 was U16 was U16. Now I got to put in U16 for every league or tournament.
So at least now we can game.
No, you won't. No, because I'm going to put in the EPYSA fees, and they may still pay you more. Because I can't. They don't tell me which leagues. Only the top league, and EDP doesn't exist anymore, by the way. EDP does not exist anymore. They were bought out. Nothing's changing for the spring, but we don't know what's happening after that. Step 3, I believe, up in New England, bought them out. So we were assured nothing's changing for the spring, but I can't guarantee they're going to keep the same policy for you guys in the fall. I mean, me personally paid you guys $11,000 last year for forfeits. I just gave Lee a check tonight.
$10,000. Yeah, right.
11 is what I paid just for EDP cancellation of forfeits. So I'm assuming they're going to scale it back. A week might be a little excessive, but I was just done, so I was just billing them for everything. But so we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it means more teams join Central League, Intercounty, APL, home leagues. We'll see. Well, they're joining ECNL. I mean, the top teams are going there, but the local teams why are you playing EEP if you're a third division team? I mean, too many teams. Some of the top level EEP is glorified travel rec, localized, especially my way and farther west. That's where most of the problems are because the teams don't want to drive out there.
Right up, like a 2.5 hour game at a third level EEP game. That's where they're sending them.
Yeah. So we're slowly getting stuff. Like I say, if you have any suggestions, not that we're going to do them all, but the eventually. Right now it's all email, but I think that's a plan. What, you get too many emails? You can't accept by email? Huh?
Have to separate team email. But I think the big thing, at least for me, is like the calendar, being able to export it to my calendar.
Yeah.
If you get that is, I always.
And that should be, I mean, every time I tell them something, they're like, oh, that's easy. It'll give me 5 minutes. Oh, let me fix that right now. So, huh? Well, yeah, because the other league's like 20-team league. Maybe a 30-team league down in Houston. So, yeah, because they keep going, you're doing how many games? and then even this weekend, because it was 500 games for the tournament. And I'm sitting there looking at all the cats going, this is a little depressing. All that work. Done, gone. What's that? Yeah, you guys get screwed. But you guys got a lot more snow. Like, we had 3 inches in Lancaster. My grass is showing. Most of it melted. Like, my back patio, some of you guys have been to my house, the back patio was clear Monday night. But I face west, so that helps out a little bit. But, like, 'cause I texted Joe and said, hey, it's done snowing, sun's out, it's melting. He goes, we'll see. This was Monday. He goes, we got 6 to 8. I go, what? We got 3, maybe 4. So I was half shocked to see the email this afternoon, but not completely. But
So do I need to log back in to find it?
right there. So when you click on edit account info, and then click edit there. Then your name. Can't change your email address because that's your username. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people, like, if you didn't put it when you first did it, you couldn't edit it right away. It took us another 2 weeks to get you to edit it, so you just got to go in. Also, secondary emails there. Oh, the other thing, too, is down here, if you're under 18, you have to have a parent's email address. But it's not a bad thing. But that way, oh, don't get me started. I had to do mine yesterday, and it was painful. But that way, too, the email's there. The only thing they don't show, and I got to figure out how to do that, too, is for you guys to know if you have an underage person working with you. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't just text one of your ARs. I would text the entire crew or email the entire crew if you're going to send an email. That way you're guaranteed, even if they're both minors, there's still 3 people on the text.
3 people on the text, right.
But I also need to know age because I don't know everybody's name yet. I got a bunch of new referees. Well, are you a new 16-year-old referee? Or are you a new 40-year-old referee? And so I got to get them to get that. And the other thing I'm trying to get them to add, which they can't seem to figure this one out, is gender. Because some people don't want to do girls' games. Some only want to do girls' games. You know, some can get higher level girls, but not higher level boys. You know, so I need to know what gender these games are. So that's on the next list of things. We had timelines for everything to get done. That's on my next thing. That you guys will see the gender too. Because right now, if you look at your schedule, now you know what it is for the Penn Fusion stuff, but all the friendlies so far. Yeah. So that's yes, and so your secondary email in case you have a work email or whatever you want to put in there, so that you can get emails to both of them. And if you need to do your login now, I forgot what my password was. I'm good at that because these stupid things remember. I mean, you guys all. I mean, I know my home phone number from when I grew up. I know my best friend's phone number from growing up. Don't ask me what my wife's phone number is now.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that it's the. If it wasn't for the fact that it was the for the grocery store, you know, when we first started dating and were married, I'd have to if something happened and I lost my phone. I go, Ralph, can I borrow your phone? I had to call my parents' house and go, hey, call Sydney and tell her to call me at this number because we've lost the ability to remember stuff because. So I went to log in on vacation. It had the other one, the TJ, and it couldn't bring up Tim, so I had to reset the password. So pretty simple. So yeah, more and more will be coming through, and we're trying to get all this stuff up before the spring season starts. But who knows? Because we're already in February. We're going to be in March, like in a week, and I feel like we're still behind. Like usually January, I'm not doing much, but they added those not presidents, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend games. And half of them got canceled. Anybody have a game canceled for that? The USTC games in January. They were outside, but teams forgot they had teams claiming on Friday they didn't know they had games that weekend. So we had to do a bunch of forfeit fees there. Quite frustrating with winter soccer. Nobody's paying attention. So, but I mean, you told email a day. Got Penn Fusion boys, got Penn Fusion, or got FC Europa showcase, and then John Campbell's also going to have the rest of the FC Europa that weekend. Then we got a small weekend. I think I got Steel United. And then the following weekend blows up. And then how many people got an email from Delaware about the EDP stuff? They're using WSFHS Park, the 3 fields for tournaments. And they called me first, and I said, yeah, sure, whatever. And they go, okay, we'll hook you back up. And you're like, nope, time out, we need to talk. I'm not using 2 websites again. They have their own website. So then they went with Tyler and Kyle. It's only 3 fields right now. But then May, every weekend in May is going to be busy, including State Cup finals. It'll be July before we know it. So the biggest thing right now, guys, is stay in shape. We've already lost a few. We've already there were a couple tournaments last weekend. I heard that we lost a few guys from those 2. And that's why most people got 3 games a day. These first couple of weekends going back in. Number 1, it's cold. Number 2, you guys have nobody's running theoretically in 2 months. So I try to ease everybody back in with, especially when I have 300 referees that want to work. Try to spread everybody out, give everybody 3 games a day, but go from there. The players are playing 1 game a day. So if the players are doing 1, and you have a 7:00 game, and it's your 7th game of the day, you're beyond done, and they're going full speed. So That's why we try. So, I mean, the biggest thing, like I always tell my guys, even the college guys, when it's time to come in, you know where you need to be. Don't overdo it early on.
Right.
Don't think you have to be on top of that play when you haven't ran in 2 months. Take it easy. I mean, the longer you've done it, yes, I'm a step or two slower than I was when I was 20, but I know where I need to be and what angle I need to do to see what I need to see. And I know when I need to get down in front of Ralph to keep him calm, and when I can stay back and let the players do their thing. So it's all that kind of stuff, learning that kind of stuff to know where to be and not overdoing it. Because it's a long season. What did Joe tell you? He goes,
6 weeks?
he basically said, follow PT.
Yeah,
There's lots of games to be covered. See you. I thought he said 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
He said 4 weeks, even though you said you were out 4 to 6. But that's the thing is, I mean, yes, many
It
people.
was my 8th game. 8th. I've been running all winter, and I'm like.
But still, it's the 8th game in.
Tired, but I bumped down.
Well, look at the Super Bowl. The dude jumping on the field after a punt tore his Achilles. And that's a finally to an athlete there. You know what I mean? And it's just a bad way to go out of the Super Bowl. But it just shows you it can happen anytime. Some of us were lucky.
I'm gonna end the recording.
Yeah. My biggest injury was a broken foot that I had for 10 years. I just popped Advil and kept running on it. Never knew it. Doing program.